Hey folks, Jimmy here in Strange, Vermont. It's Christmas Day. You're looking at a painting I painted myself about 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. This painting used to hang, or it had hung in the World Trade Center at one point, back in the 90s, for an exhibition about artists with epilepsy. And this is one of the displayed artworks in the show. I also had a example of poetry in the show, but this is the painting, one of the paintings I put in, and if you can look at it, you can see that it has a lot of imagery in it. I always looked at them as Native American dancers and images and the ghosts in the landscape. See how the tip of the wing is held down by the rocks? The other tip held down by those lines. I call it the breath of thunder. Here's some artifacts I pulled out. It's a little dark tonight. There's a horse. This is a piece of blue quartz with horse imagery on it. It looks white under the light, but it's got a blue tint to it. Came out of the blue cairn. There's another horse up there. And this is some sort of ritual knife or something. It's very sharp up here. Blue quartz. This is blue quartz. This is an axe head, I believe, or a talisman, but it could have been used as an axe head. That's blue also. That came out of the same place. And this is associated with it also, this type of metal. It's like a metal. It's really weird. It's like a silver ore. And this thing, it's got the blue quartz on the inside of it. Very powerful. This here's my fossil. Fossil bone of some kind. And it's a wolf. I want you to see the blue guy, the blue being. Look at this guy. Look at the face of that guy. That's one of the stones associated with the blue cairn out back, the blue boulders that come out of the ground. And these stones are only found in that spot, in these images. This is a finger knife found there. There's a piece of blue quartz, elongated skull, guy with a blue eye, sort of a white face. Here's the bone I found. It's a bone handle. Looks like a human bone to me. And it's got all these etchings on it. Just laying on the ground. When I moved to this mountain, I didn't know anything. And I thought looking for Indian relics meant looking for arrowheads. And I would keep my eye open. I like to pick up rocks, and I picked up a lot of rocks, but found 0 arrowheads. And these are the kind of things I started to find. When I noticed that they had images in them, and they were tools, and they were artifacts, I saw things differently and found, well, a lost ancient civilization right here in my front yard. There's a little white quartz that we get here, and it's like obsidian, white obsidian. It's very sharp. This is like a serrated knife blade with a little Naga figure on it. There's imagery and everything. Bear head. But this bone was interesting. There weren't too many of them around here. But that is a bone handle. And there's a nice grinding bowl. But when I found these, I started thinking differently. What else didn't I know? And it turns out I didn't know anything. I had to learn all of this. There was no place to go to find any information about who might have done these. I asked all the local tribes. They didn't know anything about it. They didn't want to know. And so they disassociated themselves with it. It's not Native American. At least that's what they're telling me. It's long before that. There's mammoth imagery, and this is the piece I found in a well, in the water, when I was mucking the well out. It's an ancient well, corbelled stones around it. And this is the rattlesnake, and this is one of their images. You can see the head, and he's curled. He's got the rattle right there. And this is an ancient weapon, I believe, shaped like one. But it's also a sacred stone. It was thrown in that well. This whole side is polished to get those windows to come out. And so you can see that they were not only stone tools and weapons and things like that, but the imagery must have been very powerful for this to be sacrificed to a well. I don't know the story, but I can think that it was special to someone to do that. And I love this stone. If it was mine, I'd carry it everywhere. You could use it for a lot of things back then in a Stone Age environment. That's the bit end. If you get hit with that, it's all done. They were effective. They were Stone Age weapons, but they were effective. This is another one. You would have plugged that into a piece of wood or a handle. And there you go. Or you could hold it in the palm of your hand and just enjoy it. There's power in these stones. It's changed everything. That when you change your perspective, you can change a lot of things in your life. And being creative is one of them. You can be very creative, opening up your mind's eye and the channels in your mind. And you can start thinking a different narrative. Like when you find this, you might say, well, nice stone, but you look at it, it is a wolf. Then you can think who did it and how long ago. And when there's absolutely zero narrative, you can create your own. There's no books written about this stuff. And there were obviously people here making nice objects. And they're powerful. They have the ability to open the energies in your body and focus everything um, into a cleaner, more positive energy in your body. If you let it, you have to let it. It doesn't just happen. Well, it does to a degree, being in an area like this. All the energies coming out of the ground um, are beneficial. That's why people use sacred places and put up megaliths. And there's an energy that comes out of the ground in these places, and it's beneficial to your life and your health. And you don't have to do anything but be around it and participate in it. And it makes you do things like this, like be very creative, raises your energy. And that's what we all need in life, right? A little raised energy. Go towards the light. To all my subscribers, thank you for subscribing and listening to me. Um, I think people who are opening their eyes and can see are going to change this world. The world's changing underneath our feet, and we can decide how we want it. Be open, be imaginative. Don't be afraid to step beside yourself and change your perspective. See things in different ways and ask different questions. Questions are much more important than answers. Much more important. Blessings all. This is Jimmy here in Strange, Vermont. I hope everyone has a good day with their families.